Detachment does not mean lack of ambition. Have you noticed that the most ambitious people are having maximum anxiety? It is very common. They're very ambitious. They say they are driven inside. Ambition means you are driven inside to achieve success, to achieve some goal, to achieve some outcome. And you are internally very driven. This is called ambition. And the most ambitious people, incidentally, are having a lot of anxiety. And what is the solution? I can give a lot of examples, like how students in school or going to college, they are having high performance stress, examination stress. They're always stressed up. And then after the exam, then the results are to be announced. They're like so, tensed up, stressed up. What is going to happen? Similarly, those people, after the examinations over, after the results come, to get into a better college, again anxiety, so much anxiety. And then after that, then campus interviews, job interviews, then after joining job, everywhere we see the same pattern. People are highly driven, they are very ambitious, but at the same time we see that they are going through a lot of stress. Why is this so? And also another peculiar thing in this world is they think, a lot of people teach this on YouTube and other places, on other platforms. They teach that to remove stress, you must be detached. So then the whole confusion starts. They think if you become spiritual, then that is a solution for your stress. Now the problem is, the contradiction is, they think spiritual means I must give up these goals. I must not have any ambition. Money is not good. And I must not have, attachment to family, attachment to money, attachment to house, attachment to job. I should be spiritual. And then they think that spirituality is a solution for this stress. And then they take up spirituality, where they repeatedly teaching you must not have attachment. And then it's very difficult. Very, 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 very few people, very small percentage of people in this world, they can understand the difference, how to break it. They think spirituality means no ambition. Vairāgya, totally detached. And 99.9999999% of the people, they think I should not be stressed. I should be, detached. This is all Maya. This world is not all temporary. I come with empty hands. I go with empty hands. In between, what is the use of this? All these things. I should connect with some inner spirituality, with Paramatma, with Bhagavan. I chant some mantras. I don't want this samsar. I want to completely detach. And then they end up in another problem. They get detached and get attached to spirituality. After some time, they think, they're not able to actually detach. Again, the longing comes from the other side. But when you come to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives a very, very, very beautiful solution for this. He says, detachment does not mean you lack ambition. Vairāgya does not mean that you don't have any goals in life. He goes on to explain in so many verses, in almost every chapter, the same theme he goes through. If you stay tuned to most of these, presentations we are making on this YouTube, you will see the same pattern. Krishna keeps on telling, but very popular verse I will quote today that most people are familiar out there also. Karmanyevadikaraste. That means in that verse, Krishna is telling you have an adhikara for performing your actions. Ma phaleshu kadachana. So he says you have an adhikara. That means you have a responsibility to perform your activities. So he says vairāgya or detachment does not means laziness. Other people think it is very lazy. Oh, I want to be very peaceful. I want to go to some forest. I want to go and stay in some nice place with the nature. I mix. All this city life is boring. There is so much stress, noise, digital noise, traffic noise, family noise. All delete, 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 delete. All the noise, delete. But Krishna is telling no. That is not the way. Because 5,000 years ago, Arjuna was on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and all the conches, bugles, a lot of noise, battle drums, war cries, everything. And Arjuna was thinking he don't want all this war. He wanted to be detached. He says, oh Krishna, what is the use of all this kingdom, this, that? I want peace. And many people question outside. He is proposing peace. What kind of God he is? He is asking him to rise and fight war. He is not a peaceful Lord. Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, is telling, no, rise and fight. So in that shloka, Krishna is telling, I'm just translating easily into English, that you have a right to perform your duty. What he is telling is, please take responsibility and perform your duties. Don't run away from your responsibilities, Arjuna. Similarly, any of you are like software engineer, you may be a banker, you may be an engineer, maybe a cricket player, you may be a sportsman, you may be prime minister, president. It really doesn't matter. Whoever you are, detachment means not that you become lazy. Many people think inaction. That means I will not do any work. I will retire, resign, live peaceful. Whatever a little bit money I have, that is enough. Simple living, high thinking. I'll go and then that's it. Who will, do all these things? So Krishna is telling, no, you have a responsibility to perform your duty. You have a right to perform your duty. You have a responsibility. And many people take this responsibility very selfishly. I have a right to perform my duty means they focus on the goal. And many people, they think goals will create stress. Goals do not create stress. Goals only give a direction. They don't create any stress. What creates stress? Your attachment to the results create stress. Students are so much stressed off with examination because they are attached to the result. So when it comes attachment to the result, ambition becomes impure. When you are detached from the result, your ambition becomes pure. But you must have ambition. In this material world, ambition is very important. Having goals is very important in different areas of your life. And Krishna is telling, the result you should not have any attachment. It's many people, it is like a revolutionary thought process. They cannot understand. Like, how can I be, detached from the result? Result means success. So I'm driven for success. Only the day I achieve my success, I am visualizing every day. I have set a goal. I want to score 100% of the marks in the examination. And I am visualizing that. I am preparing for that. And on that result only I am focusing. So most people focus on the result. And when we say, Krishna is telling, don't focus on the result, but focus on the process, then it's very, very difficult. How to not focus on the result? So Krishna keeps on telling, not in this particular chapter, chapter after chapter, chapter after chapter, he is telling. And if somebody understands you don't be attached to the results, then immediately they think, no need of any action. I don't have to study. I'm not attached to the results. Means whether 100 I get or 80 I get or 50 I get, it doesn't really matter. I'm detached, I follow Bhagavad Gita and Lord Sri Krishna. So I'm detached from the result. Whatever comes, I'm contented. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Good enough. I don't want too much money. I'm getting 25,000 rupees a month. Many people are getting less than me. I'm very, very satisfied. I'm content. So on and so forth, they twist and turn Krishna's teachings according to convenience, and some people become lazy. They say, who will go to the job, It is so troublesome. Oh, that boss, I don't want to see his face at all. And, slowly, some people, they want to resign from the job. Some people, students, I'll just go and do masti. They give very many examples. Many toppers, they are paupers today. Ordinary failures in school, they are all big men today in the society. They'll give all kinds of this philosophy and justifications. But Krishna is telling, inaction is not a solution. You have to still act. You must feel responsibility to perform your duty. If you are a homemaker, you must feel responsibility. I am a homemaker. I have this responsibility. I have to run this family. These are my job tasks to be done every day, day in and day out. I will do it the best of my capability. Detachment means purifying your actions. Purifying your actions means I will perform my duties to the best of my capabilities. Let me give another example in an office. Officer A and Officer B, worker A and worker B. Worker A focuses on the outcome. What is the outcome? Next year, I must get a top increment. I should get the highest increment in this office. Nobody should get. I should get like 20% increment, never before, never after. Na bhuto, na bhavishyati, I want very good increment. The problem with that is, two things will happen. He is working very, very hard, attaching his work to that result. Two things can happen. He can get that increment. Then what happens? Because of that success comes pride. And pride comes before the fall, and he will again fall down. He'll become lethargic. Oh, I'm the best I got, and he'll become proud. And then in the long run, it doesn't help. Short run, maybe he achieved his 20%, but gone. There's a worker B. He's not focusing on the 20%, increment coming year. He is detached from the result. Whatever result comes, it's up to Krishna. It could be 20%, it could be 10%, it could be 15% or 5%, whatever is the condition at that time, we don't know. Maybe suddenly some war is there. There is no increment that year at all. He is not bothered about the outcome. He is only concerned about performing his duty excellently to the best of his capability. Every day he goes to office, consistent attendance, hour by hour, he produces his performance. He is not thinking about the increment. Which of the two in the long run will be more successful? You all know the answer now. By now, you know where we are getting at. Okay. So the worker B will, in the long run, have better results. He's not focusing on the result. But the moment you don't focus on the result, it becomes very, very tough to work hard. That's why Krishna is telling, no. Inaction is not a solution. I'll not work. It's okay. Anything I get in the end is fine. Whatever comes is Bhagavan ka ichcha hai. So I don't have to be so much driven, which is, very stressful, too much ambition, not good. What we are going to take after this, how many generations I have to work Not necessary. This much is enough. Many people get into that. So the point is, Krishna is again and again telling the same thing in different verses, in different places, and he's telling this is a technique to work. This is a technique to work. I'll just read the next verse also. Siddhi asiddhyoho samo bhutva. Immediately after 2.47, there is a 2.48 also. In 2.48, Krishna continues this karmanyevadikaraste. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. He says you should not consider yourself as the cause of the output. Now a homemaker is there. She's preparing some nice food. And then after the food is prepared, and if it comes out very nice, everybody is praising. I only did that. Immediately it becomes like, you are having a right on the result. The result is mine. I am the doer. Krishna is telling, no, you are not the doer. There are so many variables happening for that result. That's why he's telling, ma karma phala hetur bhur. Never consider yourself the cause of the result. It could be victory, it could be difficult, but you are not the cause. The moment you are not cause of the result, then immediately what you will think? Krishna knows what is going on in Arjuna's mind. He is telling, never be attached to not doing your duty. That means, I will not work. If I don't get the credit that I did that, then why should I work? In English also there is this saying, proprietorship creates gold. If you are the proprietor, you are the owner, then you create gold because that gold is yours. That's where ambition comes in this world. But Krishna is telling to Arjuna, no. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur. The moment you say that I'm not the cause of that result, then you think somebody else is the cause of the result, then why should I work hard? So Krishna actually, no, you must work hard. Mate sangostu akarmani. Don't say I will now become lazy. The moment the result is not yours, then you become lazy. No, it is what. And so Krishna actually, no, you cannot become lazy. You cannot say I will not do my work. Like Arjuna was telling, I will not fight this war. I don't want the result. You only keep, if there is some kingdom, some wealth, some gold, this, that, everything. Let somebody take. Let the enemies take. I don't want. I will not perform. I will not act. So there are two things, like, action, inaction. The moment you know that you are not getting the salary next month, will you go to work? You are understand the concept. The result is not yours. Then why should I work? And you are not even getting the credit. You are telling you are not the cause of the result. You go and tell, how nice you have performed. No, you are not the cause. So that means from their perception, that doesn't mean you should not, praise your mother cooking nicely for you, or your child performing very good in school. Not that you should not praise. No, internally, from first person point of view, we must perform our duty with full excellence, with full responsibility, to get good results only. But you must perform your duty, and by mercy of Krishna, it can be success, it can be failure, but both belong to Krishna. But that doesn't mean somebody else is taking the credit. I will not work. No, you have to work. So then what happens is, your ambition is focusing on the process. I'll give you a very good example of a student I repeatedly give in all my classes. It's easy to understand because you all went to school and college. Student A, student B. Student A has a goal. He want to be the topper in school. Student B also want to be a topper in school. A and B are fighting for the first place. So what is happening is, A is focusing on the result only. Both are setting goals. It doesn't mean you don't set goals. You set goals. But what is happening is, when you set the goal, And the ambition is to excel in your process, not to excel there. That excellence will come later. But for the time being, you must excel here. What is that? I must give 100% attendance in school. Every class I must attend. This is step number 1. Step number 2, I must be attentive in class. Not that I attend for attendance and then you go to sleep in class. No. You have to be attentive in class. After being attentive in class, you must do classwork in class. When teacher gives you some work in the classroom, you have to do classwork in class. Then she or he gives some homework. You go home and you do your homework and submit it on time. Then again, what happens if they give some tests, you must attend those tests. And then if you do some mistakes, you go and clarify your doubts. And then you practice at home. Then you revise the lessons. So this is the process. It's going on and on and on. One guy is, meditating, I will be the topper. I told you so many times, you daydream. Many people, everybody daydreams about getting the results in the final exam. But this person who understands this shloka, karmanyevadikaraste, ma phaleshu kadach, and you are not the cause of the result. So he's having a gratitude. I'm not the cause for my success. So when the success comes, you will not, I'm the doer. Good student always will tell, I'm grateful to my teachers. I'm grateful to my school where I went. It could be a government school, it could be a private school, it could be very big fees or not. But the student, wherever he's coming from, whatever marks he got, maybe he got a first class in his village school. So he's very grateful to the teachers who helped him. You are not the only cause of success. There are higher things that are happening around you. And so what happens is, this student who is focusing to excel in the process, and he will get the results accordingly to the best of his capabilities, he is doing this. But the other person, maybe he is thinking, not performing in the process, but he is focusing only on the final results. So what happens is, because he is focusing on the final outcome and successful results, here he cannot perform his process properly. He'll be inattentive in class. Why? No, this teacher is so boring, I think I go to library and do myself. Or, he will try to find shortcuts. And when the result doesn't come according to his expectations, what happens is, Vakra Buddhi will develop. Vakra Buddhi means he will think, I will do hera-peri to get into the results. That is what happened recently in Delhi. The examinations, the medical examinations, entrance examination, NEET or something, got cancelled all over India. They postponed. Why? By hook or crook, they want that result. That's why today it is becoming so much sinful. Ordinary school education, college education is becoming a sinful activity because people somehow, various crooked means they want to get success. That is not Bhagavad Gita. So if you're performing activities for your success, even your hard work is sinful only. Forget here they were doing some other method, get the paper leaked, and the paper they want to take an advantage over the other people. That is direct sinful. Now we are talking about indirect sinful, that a person who may study very hard, he doesn't take a leaked paper, but he really studied hard, but he doesn't give credit to higher things. He takes credit. I am the person. I scored number 1. What is the point of scoring that number 1 first rank in the whole country when you don't acknowledge? Then you feel, the moment you feel I am the doer, pride will go to your head. Pride goes, fall down. Now you don't achieve your goal. What happens is depression, dejection, suppression, stress. Oh, I did not get. I could not get into IIT. I could not get into NIT. I could not get into the next level of schools. So this stress is going to develop. So Krishna's solution is, look, you please perform your duty. You are a student, you perform your duty to the best of your capability, to your best excellence. So that's why we must always put Krishna in the center of our life. It is the change of consciousness that I attend school for the pleasure of Krishna. I do my homework for the pleasure of Krishna. Because Krishna has told, perform your duties. I am performing my duty because it is for the pleasure of Krishna. And again in chapter number 5, a related verse is there, 5:10. There also he is telling how to act like this, totally detached. The moment I think I am detached, then I will lose my ambition. No, you have to maintain your ambition. You have to excel, you have to maintain your ambition. How is the he gives a very beautiful analogy, Krishna, in chapter 5 and text number 10. Padma patra ivambhasa. You know where the lotus flower grows? It grows in a very muddy pond, some places like that. But the flower is very beautiful, although it is growing in muddy pond. It is untouched by the water. It is always very clean. That's why we go and pluck that lotus and offer to lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. I'll read that shloka. It is so beautiful shloka, which is connected to this karmanyevadikaraste. And I will also come back to karmanyeda, the 2.47, 2.48, where he says, success or no success, siddhi, asiddhi, siddhi, asiddhyo, samo bhutva, you treat them equal. That is what it means that Krishna is giving you. You don't work under stress, you work very peacefully. Ambition will be there. Purified ambition means you work peacefully. If purified ambition is not there, then you go to the malpractice methods, leaking, copying in the exam. Thoda batao na result, I will help me in the exam. It can be in the exam, in the office also. Today we see a lot of politics, in office politics. You want to beat the other fellows by different methods, not by your excellent work or something like that, by sabotaging your other person's work. Okay, I'll just read from 5.10. Padmapatra Ivambhasa is such a beautiful verse. I'll read that and then we'll close. Brahman adaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate na sa papena padmapatram ivambhasa. One who performs his duty without attachment. What do you mean by without attachment? You must be attached to the duty but not to the result. That's what it means. One who performs his duty without attachment to the result. Surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord. Whatever results come, Krishna Arpanamastu. He is unaffected by sinful action as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. What it means is you stay in this world, but you don't allow the world to stay inside you. You are aloof from this world. It's beautiful. Just like you remember the lotus leaf, it is untouched by water. You go and see it is not touched by water. It has a filament. You put water also, it will drop off. It has developed a filament on top that it is untouched by water. You must live like that, untouched. And siddhi asiddhyo samo bhutva. That is also like after 2.47, 2.48 is amazing verse where you get clarity. I'm repeating again and again because it's not an easy subject to understand. Many people are confused with this. That's why the paper is leaking in NEET. Because they are attached to the result, somehow or the other they want to get. Somebody, somehow or the other, they want to get rich. So what they do is they smuggle gold inside the shoes, inside this. They want to become rich. Do you want that kind of riches? And somebody says, I am very, very, I don't do those kind of things. I work very hard and earn. All the money is mine. I am the success. I am a self-made man. They'll be declaring so many people. That is also sinful only. He is more sinful, directly, grossly visible. The other person who does not acknowledge that his existence is to Krishna, Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna is Sarvakarana Karanam. My existence is because of him, and my existence is because of my parents. So he doesn't give the credit where it is due. He is also sinful only. Now you see, Yogastaha kuru karmani. Many people think yoga means going to the yoga studio and do some vinyasa yoga or hot yoga or some other things. That is not yoga. Here very beautiful it is written. You can be whatever in the society. You can be a doctor, you can be a businessman, you can be a software engineer, you can be a student, you can be a homemaker, you can be a soldier, a policeman. It really doesn't matter. This is yoga. Yogastaha kuru karmani. And then again, Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. Sangam means attachment. You have to be detached. Tyaktva means Sangam tyaktva. Don't be attached. Be detached. So people keep on seeing this Bhagavad Gita page after page, chapter after chapter. Krishna is telling be detached. And then they get all kind of misunderstandings. And then they think they lose, I don't have to work hard. Krishna is telling you must work hard. When I come into this world, I also work hard. And he gives great examples like Janaka and all, they performed. They worked hard. Inaction is not a solution. It is equally sinful. Laziness is also sinful. So you must work hard. You must take responsibility as a father, as a mother, as a soldier, as a doctor. You have a responsibility. Perform your duties properly. So, yogastaha kuru karmani. Yogastaha, equipoised, connected to Krishna. Yoga means connection to Krishna. You should be connected internally to Krishna and externally perform your duties to the best of your capability with the best of your excellence. And then abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Again, he's telling the same thing. This is 5th chapter. Abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So a student not focusing on the result, whatever the result comes, it is Krishna's mercy. Now, for the pleasure of Krishna, let me perform my duties properly. What is my duty? I go and attend and give 100% attendance in class. I learn things in the class with full attention. 100% attentive in class. Then what I will do? I will do classwork in class itself. I am not lazy. Oh, theek hai na, teacher bol raha hai. She will ask 1 or 2 students. I don't have to work. No, I may not get the result. I may not be able to solve. But I will put my full attention to do classwork in class. Then she gives some homework. I go home and I do my work. Full attention. With full sincerity. And I seek help wherever I need help. I will not say any ego problem. I will not ask help. You ask help, uncle, aunt, elder brother, elder sister, to learn. So you're putting a constant effort in excelling. Then what happens? In the end, you get 60% or 70% or 100%. It really doesn't matter. Krishna is very pleased with such kind of a worker, such kind of a student. Not somebody, who scores full marks, but he's, because he's very intelligent because of, previous janma or whatever. He's so intelligent. Even he can teach the teacher so much of knowledge he has from previous life. So he becomes a little bit proud. He's not very attentive in class. He's disturbing others because he knows everything. Such a student is not very dear to Krishna. This student who is struggling to follow the teacher's instructions and what are the rules of the school, everything. He's not vandalizing in school. He's not disturbing other students. He is a very good, sincere student. With the best of his capabilities, he's putting everything. Now, so what? He doesn't pass the exam also. He has pleased Krishna. That is what he's telling. Yogastaha kuru karmani. Kuru means do. Karma means your activities. Yogastaha, you be steady, connected to Krishna consciousness. You perform your duties. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, without attachment to the results. Siddhi asiddhyo samo bhutva. Siddhi means success. Asiddhi means failure. And in both places, you are equal. It's okay. Why he is so confident? He is equal, sama in both success and failure. Because he knows he has performed his duty. That's all he is bothered. Outcome, he is not bothered. It's okay. I have performed my duty to the best of my capability. I got 60 marks. Now I'll improve next class. Now 8th standard, I got 60. Next class, I'll improve. I'll put more effort, more learning. I'll tweak my process more and more. Every class, every year, I'll start improving. I'll work on continuous improvement. So he keeps on going like that. So he may not be a very big man, but in the eyes of Krishna, he's a super duper hero hit like that. Okay. Samatvam yoga uchyate. And in this way, today we are talking about, some great examples we can take. History, all the Puranas, especially Srimad Bhagavata Purana, there are so many names we get who are Krishna conscious, who follow Bhagavad Gita. 100% they follow. And we see all kinds of examples. Somebody is very poor like Sudama. Somebody is a very big king like Prithu Maharaj, who is the ruler of the whole planet. Somebody is, small kids. Somebody is elderly. But what is happening is they are 100% following Bhagavad Gita. They are following the process. They are not attached to the results. They are not attached to the results. They are only attached to this. So what happens is, your ambition is there. Many people, as I said in the beginning of the class, many people, they think spirituality means I don't have ambition. First thing is no ambition. But keep on remembering Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. He says no. Rise, Arjuna, fight. Arjuna was thinking, I will not fight. Inaction, I will not act. Why? Because he was thinking this victory or defeat is mine. But Krishna said it's not yours. Whatever happens is mine. So if somebody is working in a job and his job is like salesman and he's going out and doing sales, he's working for an employer and he's getting a salary every month. What is happening is, one day he may get $100,000 business order. 1 month, another month he may not get any order, but still he gets his salary. He still gets his salary because there is a contract. He will get salary. Only the owner is responsible for the profit or loss or whatever, the things are happening. Similarly, a person who is in Krishna consciousness, he is not attached to the result. He is only attached to this process. So he keeps on tweaking his process, and then only he will get a proper result. Then only he will be peaceful. And that is why detachment to the result and attachment to the process, then you will be able to perform your duties very peacefully. And many people will be asking us, how come, you're not at all stressed? How come you don't have any stress? Less salary, more salary, this, that. So a person who is working like that is very dear to Lord Krishna. Okay. So I was telling in Bhagavata Purana, there are so many examples, big kings. We are talking about small people like who are earning, 30, 40,000 rupees a month salary, ordinary employees. Now we are talking about an emperor who rules the whole planet Earth. Yudhishthira Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, Sita's father, Janaka Maharaj. His name is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Janaka Maharaj. They were great leaders, great examples who focused on the process only. As a responsible king, like King Ramachandra, God himself, he incarnated as Ramachandra. And if you see his story, the entire Ramayana, you will see the same thing. Perfect example. He was performing his duty perfectly as a good husband, perfectly as a good son, perfectly as a king. He was trying to balance everything. And you ask the citizens, they say he is the best king. You ask his wife, he say he is the best husband. You ask his father and mothers, they will tell he is the best son anybody can have. He was an all-rounder, like everybody. You ask his enemy also, they'll tell he is the best enemy we have. You ask Ravanasara, he said, I never faced an enemy as good, as great as this person. So how is that perfect example? You see Yudhishthira Maharaj also. He is ruling the whole kingdom. He is the emperor of the whole planet. They follow Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita is for Rajarshis and also for ordinary people like us. And everybody, it is the same. This shloka is suitable to you, to me, and also to King Yudhishthira Maharaj, who is the ruler of the whole planet. For him also same message. Same 700 shlokas are there in Bhagavad Gita, 525 shlokas by Lord Krishna. Out of that, if you see in 525 sentences, the entire Vedas have been compressed. Only God can give that. And it is valid. Even they followed it more perfectly. Why their names are there in Srimad Bhagavatam and Puranas is they followed this Bhagavad Gita perfectly. Bhagavad Gita is existing for a very, very long time. He again spoke in, Kurukshetra war. Before that also, Bhagavad Gita is existing. It's existing in all the ages, in all the planetary systems. So that is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. So we request you, so you please stay tuned with this Bhagavad Gita for Life Hub. We are coming with so many programs. So you please like, you subscribe, and also you forward these links to other people who you think will help them a lot. It is because it is a mind-blowing concept. It's a revolutionary concept. Don't focus on the result, but you focus on the process, and you always perform your duty to the best of your capabilities. Then what happens is there will be no hanky-panky business. You will not go and do illegal things. You will be always dharmic, and then your life is so peaceful. And then you becoming spiritual or coming to Bhagavad Gita, many people think, hey, if I go to Bhagavad Gita, maybe I'll not perform well. No, Arjuna performed excellently. He came out of the war after 18 days as the number one warrior in the entire war because he followed Krishna's instructions. So his ambition was there, but only thing is his change of his consciousness. I am fighting to the best of my capabilities. So ambition is there, but this time it is purified ambition. It is not impure ambition where you think the result is I am the cause of the result. You are not the cause of the result. You are only an instrument. I'll just give one last analogy. Okay, that is, suppose there is a stick and somebody kills the iron rod or a stick. Somebody kills a snake, poisonous snake attacking, so he kills the snake. Now who killed the snake? The iron rod. But actually who is hitting? The person is hitting. So similarly here we must think like I am like a steel rod. Somebody else is using me as an instrument and then beating that. The result is the snake is dead. Poison, it saved so many people's life. It was about to bite somebody and you saved. But the stick starts thinking I am the doer, then that is the problem. Right? We should be like that. Understanding this, the final outcome, whatever it is, there are so many reasons. Ultimately, Krishna is responsible for that. From our side, we must perform your duty to the best of our capabilities, in the best excellent. We should not lose interest. Oh, now I am old. Earlier, no, 30 years ago, I used to make so nicely. I used to dress up so nicely. Now it's okay, I don't dress up nicely. These kind of things, you always should be pakka, very well dressed up in everything. You're very highly disciplined. All these things will come in Bhagavad Gita. We'll be conveying these messages regularly. So please like, subscribe, forward, and in the comment section, please ask questions so that we will address a combination of your lectures into one particular video, and we'll release this for the benefit of everybody. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.